Have you ever wanted to commit genocide on all residents of a castle or your ancestor? Do you want to satisfy your OCD by breaking every breakable thing and be rewarded for it? Do you like to torture yourself with unforgiving games that feel like they are right out of the 1990s era of arcade game design? Then look no further, Rogue Legacy is for you. In the recent Steam sale for roguelikes, I may have obtained my copy of the game. Well spent €2.30. About 15 hours of game time, I completed the game for the first time. This game may or may not be the reason for my increase in self-care yoga practices. Because most of the times there is none other to blame for your defeat than yourself. But getting pinched between two giant skeletons, throwing bones at you in a tiny room just for one of them to enrage if you kill the other, and then not wanting to leave and admit defeat for a neglectable amount of gold is just self-induced harm. Death is an unavoidable occurrence in life, as in this game's castle, and upon it you can choose 1 out of 3 heirs, which has the unlucky fate of losing their life inside the castle. The other 2 got lucky. In this game there are 10 different classes, and a bunch of them can be upgraded. There are only 2 that are worth your time, maybe 3 if you like torture a little more than me. The first being the Barbarian, to be precise, the Barbarian Queen. Oh my, take me into your thick, strong arms. A Barbarian in this game, not to be confused with a Bavarian, which is a leather pants or dirndl wearing, pretzel devouring and beer chugging German, has a high amount of health, and with the right armor and runes can tank right on through most of the enemies. The other class is the upgraded Shinobi, the strongest ninja and leader of the Hidden Leaf Village, the 7th Hokage, Naruto. The Hokage class has a massive buff to its melee damage and can't crit, which does not matter if most of the enemies die in one hit. The third class would be the upgraded Lich, the Lich King.
My son.
No, not that one. Or a Lich Queen. The Lich class starts out really weak, with low HP and mana, but for each enemy killed, the Lich will increase its max HP, and as a Lich King or Queen, you will get the ability to convert half your max HP to mana, which will make you the ultimate caster. Should you not have the option to choose any heir with one of the said classes, you could choose to use the character to gain gold and train your ability to handle certain enemies, or you could just run them down into the next best trap and choose the next heir. For the Barbarian, I mentioned armor and runes. There is a smith and a enchantress, who both are the pinnacle of incompetence. They have to be bought as an upgrade to your mansion and provide you only with minimal blueprints. Those have to be obtained by you and can only be used by the next heir. Each item you craft increases the amount you have to pay for the next one. Armor provides you with stats, while runes provide you with movement abilities like the extra jump, dash or flight, and survivability with vampire, siphon and balance, which grants HP, MP and both after killing enemies. You may have noticed that the background of the game and the style changes. That is the result of what the game calls traits. If you choose a new heir, they can have none, 1 or 2 traits. There are 37 traits. For example, Vertigo, which displays the game upside down. As a spelunker or spelunkette, every treasure or point of interest is marked on your map from the start. If you got the trait Alzheimer's, which disables the map function alongside, you f***ed up royally. Nearsighted, farsighted, stereo blind, tunnel vision, or the one just influenced the game's appearance. Gigantism, dwarvism change the height of your character. CIP hides your health bar. Clumsy breaks stuff for you, and so on. The more useful ones are OCD, where you gain mana if you break stuff, ADHD, which lets you move faster, or PAD, which has the effect of you not activating spike traps, because you do not have a pulse in your feet. Inside the castle, there are a bunch of things you can encounter. The more common ones are the clown, which will test your capability either by letting you aim at moving targets with the knife throw ability, or your capability of calculating the highest amount of area covered with a parabolous X throw. You can also encounter this evil nurture your developing gambling addiction. He will take 25% of your current gold and lets you choose 1 out of 3 chests. If you pick the wrong one, he'll call you a loser, and you are wiser afterwards, knowing for the next time not to gamble. Can't tell you what happens if you pick the right one. Never happened to me. And if some smart ass in the comments thinks, LMAO, you can't read, the elf tells you that he'll give you triple the amount of gold you have, then right off. Do you really think I'll read in my free time? Ah yeah, speak about reading. There are a bunch of rooms where you can obtain a chapter of the Princess Journal, which probably explains the story of the game. I wouldn't know, I haven't read them. There's also a shrine, in which you can pray and obtain a special item, which should help you, like the compass, or Helios' blessing, or Hyperion's ring, or in my case, 90% of the time, the fucking hedgehog curse, which lets you explode your gold coins all over the place if you get hit. For convenience, there are teleporters at every terrain change and boss room. Not this. And the most important thing you can encounter is the Jukebox, which will let you set the background music. In some rooms, you will get taunted by some pesky messages with a challenge, like reach the chest without looking at it, or no fighting, but will spawn a ton of enemies in the room. Or the one that tells you to kill all the enemies, but require a certain skill to achieve. Or the most annoying one, take no damage. And then a spiked vertical climb or plunge, which requires you to have almost impossible precise inputs. And if you happen to stumble upon one of the 4 boss rooms and think about entering, prepare your mind for what happens if you visit the doctor after being asked to let down your pants and bend over for feeling a sharp pain between the place where the sun won't shine and your jewels. For some, a pleasant experience. For most, an unearthing of feelings that should have never been felt. But like everything else, after the 4th or 5th time, you learn to deal with it. Just to be met with the Anal Destroyer 5000 that is the end boss. I give this game an arbitrary score of a Sonic the Hedgehog curse out of an unpleasant doctor's visit. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like and subscribe for more, so I can achieve my goal of merging with my gaming chair and becoming inseparable.